in the beginning, it was easy for everyone in Wikipedia to manage things fairly structured. Then you start to put laws and rules in place. Then you start to get status and people having different levels of permissions. And now you get a new development in that kind of.
So it'll probably end up with people coming around to our door and trying to sell us encyclopedias again.
Eventually. Then you get the commercialisation of it to manage that structure. So the question becomes then, are you going to have an audience of a maximum of 150 people? Are you going to have a number of communities in the game? Are you going to find ways to participate in communities? It's not a mass market, and because the internet is kind of a communications medium as well as a publishing medium, you start to hit this problem because like I said, grooming is not necessarily the wisest way to do this, but
and there's a problem, isn't there, for newspapers and for other organisations like that who wish to form communities, which is that people, when they form communities, tend to make the rules up for themselves. So, I mean, that's problematic if you're an institution that already exists and you already have your own rules. How do you allow people to do that? And do they feel comfortable about you determining what they do in some way? It's quite problematic.
And that's really interesting when you come to things like when news organisations write social media guidelines, which might conflict with the rules of a Twitter community or a blog community, because you've got conflicts of values, and that individual cannot take part in that community effectively. If they're sticking to their own values, they have to adopt the values of the community. Clay Shirky was a great piece by Clay Shirky. But he basically compares it to being the landlord of a property, which is that this community might rent the space for you, but you can't dictate what they do. They will use that space and they might use it in ways that you don't like. And you have to kind of accept that.
So you can only set rules that determine very basic principles, like the walls and the structure, protecting certain things. In other words, protecting your property, but nothing beyond protecting the property.
And I mean the other thing, I think it's called a group is its own worst enemy. Try and find it.
Because in that Here Comes Everybody, they mention basically when an organisation gets past a certain level, it's mostly involved in managing itself as well. So there's this tipping point where it all just becomes massively inefficient after a certain limit.
There's another there's a classic law, I can't remember what it's called now, it's from management theory, which is that the more members you add to a group, the more inefficient it becomes, because the slower it progresses, because it's spending a lot of its resources in managing itself. So I've bookmarked that group as its own worst enemy. I think that's something different. The one interesting thing that he makes in this piece is that you need to have barriers to you need to make it harder for people to participate at high levels. And what he's saying is effectively you need to allow the core part of a group to protect itself from new entrants to that group. Because actually, if I move to the next slide, if you like, which is going beyond the Dunbar number, this is the 1990 rule. How many of you heard of this? Okay. Jacob Nielsen, who is a guru of web usability, does lots of studies. His website is useit.com, well worth subscribing to. And one of the things, he does lots of eye tracking and so on and so forth. And there's 3 of his books in the library as well, which are also linked there. He looked at what he calls participation inequality. And he said in most online communities, 90% of users are lurkers who don't contribute. 9% of users contribute a little, and 1% of users account for almost all of the action. And what you get is a power law, it's called a zip curve. there's this, you've got 1%, and this is the long tail as well, you've got 1% which is most of the activity, 9% which is some of the activity, and then 90%.
It's the same with Twitter, isn't it?
With Twitter?
Yeah, I think so, or roughly the same. The guy who wrote The Rise of Social Media mentions pretty much exactly the same pattern.
Yeah, you just see it all over the internet. I'm pretty sure you see it on Help Investigate in the early stages.
Yeah.
And Angela Connor writes a book about community management, which I think can be recommended. And she says at the start of a community, you have to be that 1%. You may be that 1% who is doing all the work. But Claire Shirky's point is effectively you've got to put in barriers in place so that 1% doesn't get undermined by other people who kind of sabotage it. So that's well worth it, really.
Gilmore has an expression for those people. He talks about people on his blog. I don't know what he calls them. He has a particular expression for people that cause problems.
There is entryism, which isn't the same thing, but you get that where a group tries to hijack your platform. So, in fact, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation example, which I think you mentioned last week on Facebook, so they did this great candid debate.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was hijacked by the pro-abortion and the anti-abortion camps. So that's the big thing about communities. You've got to focus on that 1% that drive it, that are responsible for most of the activity. And you get the same kind of statistics when you look at viewing figures as well. So, for example, 50% of views on a video sharing website. Some research by McKinsey, and they looked at video sharing community. I can't remember the exact stats, I'll dig it out. But it was basically that most of the videos that were being watched were produced by a small minority of users, and then the rest were kind of the long tail. So you'd say 50% of videos are being produced by 2% of users. 50% of video page views, if you like, were generated by these 2% of contributors. So they're probably the high quality contributors are people who had large networks of friends.
Sorry to go back to the Canadian example, there's something called Freeping, which is coordinating efforts to overwhelm online polls with thousands of silly, obscene, irrelevant and politically pointed responses.
That happened on the Daily Mail, didn't it, recently, when I had a poll up and literally it went round Twitter, go on the Daily Mail and vote, one of their really non-PC votes.
Cervical smear one, is it?
No, it was the one about the should illegal immigrants be given free NHS treatment or something like that? And literally went around Twitter, like literally within about 10 minutes. And it had gone from 40% against 60% for them not getting free NHS to like 95% the other way around. Because it just spread like what? And everyone was just like, click on its Daily Mail, come on, get it free. And it just went
remain nameless because this is going probably on the internet. But his publication, they put a poll up and there was one interest group that got hold of the poll and just blew it. So he emailed everybody and tweeted everybody he knew in order to try to get it to go the other way. So there's this battle online between these two interest groups, which rendered the whole thing completely pointless.
Polls are notoriously difficult to make useful at all. The only particularly good example I've seen was the Lancashire, I'm going to get this wrong though, but it was either the Lancashire Evening Telegraph or the Lancashire Evening Post. But they would do monthly surveys and they did this big transport survey. It was quite a big, it wasn't like a vote yes or no, it was like a big 40 question survey. And they got actually quite a good response from it because it had a genuine editorial purpose, which is influencing transport policy. And they did a big editorial in print edition.